Hello, students. Welcome to Unacademy YouTube. How are you all? Good evening. My name is Professor Urmi Chakravarti, and I'm going to take your psychology today. Let me just begin with the slideshow. Okay. So yes, welcoming all of you on board, and I hope let's just wait for some time. This is a special YouTube class for all of you. I'm just waiting for others to join in, and once they do, we will just begin with the same. All right. Okay. Hmm. All right then. Let's just begin. So I'm just waiting for more people to join in so that it's easy for us to start, and it will be helpful for you guys. And I will just take the highlighter. So probably I can highlight that what we are going to take today. As I've already discussed that we are going to learn about understanding human development. So let me quickly give you a gist of who I am and what do I do. So my name is Professor Urmi Chakravarti, and I'm a proud educator of Unacademy, and I'm privileged to be a part of the Plus team, and I'm taking special classes, I'm taking Plus classes, I have regular batches with me, and I have some amazing students who are in the part of my class. So yes, this is a little about me, and I hope you guys uh, learn something from me, and I hope that you join us very soon. So make sure that you can go ahead and check out the special classes, which are it's absolutely free of cost on the Unacademy app. Okay, this is going to be my referral code. That's URMILIVE, Urmi Live. So yes, you can go and get a 10% discount on the same. Looking at a few of the plus features which I would like to bring to your notice, all of you guys, that Unacademy Plus gives you some amazing features like, that you can be at your home and comfortably meet the top educators. There are different educators on board, and you have unlimited access to all the courses. You have absolutely great coverage of syllabus. You have regular doubt clearing sessions. You have live test series. You have study material in PDF formats. You have answer writing sessions, and you have great mentorship and guidance. And all these things are absolutely present in the plus, as well as if you go through the special classes, you will get a gist of what exactly we do, and you will be able to understand things much better. Not just this, we have plus features, we have practice sessions, we have mock sessions, We have different sort of weekly mock tests. We have started with some amazing NCERT batches, which has already commenced for science and commerce as well. And of course, these are the timetables. Few of them are already given here, and you can see that the end dates are given here. The start dates are from May, end date is from December. Can you see it's already mentioned? So I'm sure when you go ahead and have a proper look at it, you will understand that what you guys are going to get and what you guys are going to benefit from the same. All right. Not just this, you will also understand that there are few what do you call monthly duration batches also which we have commenced. And yes, if you wish, you can just go ahead and have a look at all the batches. I have already put it on the screen along with the timetable. Okay, we also have NCRT weekend batches. Like I told you, that there are people who have already started commencing the CBSE class 11th and 12th batches. Look at this. We have some top educators on board who are taking the batches. There are different timings which are being mentioned here. Okay, and not just this, we already have the Saturday Sunday batches, which are commencing with test series, complete course, live interactions. So yes, you can also see that there's some interesting subjects like Hindi. There's subjects like of course business studies, economics, accounts, biology, physics. So all these things have started, and not just this. Okay, so you guys will be thinking that, ma'am, you're only telling about science and commerce. Where is arts? Where is humanities? So let me just give you a picture that yes, we did have all the batches of humanities which are already launched. These are in front of you. We have political science, we have history, we have geography, economics, sociology, psychology, English. We also have the optional subjects. So yes, just go ahead, have a look, and get yourself subscribed and get my subscription to get a 10% off. Not just this, you can see there are some certain fabulous top educators on board who are featured. And yes, here I am. I'm taking psychology and sociology both. You can go ahead and check my profile, which is mentioned here. That's unacademy.com, Professor Urmi Chakravarti. You can go and look at all the special classes which I have taken so far. You can witness yourself how the classes are, how the classes are conducted, how will it help you, how will it benefit you in a long run, not just limited to your board scores or future board exams which you are going to commence and give, right? Like, because you guys are on in class 11th, and this is going to definitely help you and add in future. All right, not just this, let's just move ahead and have a look at the subscription plans. As you can see, the 1 month subscription plan commences with around 2500, but it becomes a 250 because you take a subscription, you take a referral code, you put it here. That's URMILIVE. This is what the place where you have to put the referral code and you get a straight away 10% discount. So this is for you to know and you to understand that how it is done. Not just then, you also get a subscription advantage of either 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. It depends which one do you take. All right. And yes, superb news is this, that yes, CBSE has already announced class 6 to 8, and it has come for, it is already launched. You can go ahead and have a look at the month-wise batches. Okay, that is 1 month, that's 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36, 48, 73. There are different batches. There are different subscription plans. For class 6 to 12 it's different, for class 8 to 12 it's different. So please go ahead, get going, and just subscribe to whichever plan you feel is appropriate. And okay, so I see Sanjana has joined. Hi Sanjana, good afternoon. How are you doing, beta? How are you? How are you, Sanjana? Where are you from? Can you please tell me a little about you? Hello. Fine, ma'am. I'm from West Bengal, Kolkata. Lovely. Hi, great. Lovely. Okay, as I can see, hi, Pingu. Okay, the name is Pingu. All right. Okay, quite interesting names. All right, so let's just begin. So today we are going to discuss about the term human development. Okay, when I say human development, what comes to our mind when we actually think of How are you, ma'am? I'm doing absolutely good, beta. I hope you're doing as well. You're doing great as well. I hope you're safe and sound, and I hope that you're enjoying the safety in your place. I hope everything is fine back in, and I hope your lockdown is going pretty well in terms of being home and staying safe. Yeah. So, how are your studies going on? Are you from class 11th? Do you have psychology? Share with me. Oh, yes, lovely, great. So, have you attended any of my sessions before this on an academy? Have you ever attended any of my special classes or plus classes, something like that? Oh, lovely, great, superb. We have a session tomorrow exactly at the same time, that's 3:30, and we have a session for class 12 tomorrow for psychology. So probably you can join in again, although you can just attend this one also and you'll have some great fun. Yeah. All right. Let's just speak about development then on a whole. What exactly do you mean by the term development? When we think of development, okay, when we think of development, we think that okay, it is the growth of an infant to a child to another adolescent or teenage, and then comes a middle-aged person, and then comes an old age. Okay, it is invariably we think that of the physical changes which are commonly observed at home with, you know, our younger siblings who are around us. It is about the people. Yes, ma'am, I have attended the psychology subject. That's really nice. I'm so happy that you have attended, and I hope you have a great endeavor and time with me, learning great things and sharing great things with me. So, thank you so much for joining in, and stay tuned and let's just learn more about it, okay? Of course, psychology is an interesting subject. The more you learn, the more exciting it becomes, yeah? I'm sure. So, yes, when we speak about the physical changes, whether it's a height or a weight or color of a person, okay, from conception until the moment of death. Now, here, when we speak about the term conception, it basically means the birth, okay? Like when we are growing, okay, when we take birth, we realize that okay, not everyone has those many hair, okay? We think that okay, that babies ke baal itne zyada nahi hai. Why do we say that? Because it takes time for that hair also to grow. Okay, similarly we also understand that it takes time for the person to develop with their features, with their body features. Okay, even in human beings we have seen, even in animals or pets we have seen that when they're small their features are different, when they grow they're different. Similarly here we speak about not only the physical changes, but we also see a change in the way we think. Okay, the way we use a language, the way we develop social relationships, the bond with each other. All these things are part and parcel of the concept of development. Now, development is the pattern of progressive, orderly, and predictable changes that begin at conception and continue throughout life. Now, development is something which is a process which goes on, okay? It doesn't stop. It is not absolutely in your hands that do you have to stop it or will it just go on. It is going on because absolutely it's a continuous process. Now, development mostly involves changes. Of course, everyone knows that every time, okay, every stage has a different kind of change. Okay, if you do not have change, if you do not come across a proper change, you will never understand what exactly it is. Okay, so time and stage are two important concepts which are there in development. Okay, development is also influenced by interplay of biological, cognitive, and socio-emotional process. Okay, like our physical growth, like our emotional growth, like our mind. Okay, like the way we think, the way we grow, the way we we have a thought process, the way we function. Everything depends on a person, that how he or she processes the entire fact. Okay, it can be anything. Development due to the genes inherited from the parents, such as in height, weight, brain, heart, lungs, development, etc., all points towards the role of biological processes. Can you see this? The biological processes. So of course it is required that why and how development takes place. The role of cognitive process, we heard about the term cognitive process here, that okay, what are the requirements of the term here. Cognitive process is nothing but it is relating to the mental activities which are associated with the process of knowing or experience things, such as a thought, that okay, wow, Sanjana has joined my class, I'm so happy. The moment I have a process in which it plays a role where I'm thinking about something, where my mind is processing or working towards that, and hence that is the place where, say, cognitive process comes into picture in development, and it relates to mental activities associated with the processes of knowing and experiencing, such as thought, perception, attention, problem solving, etc. All these things are very important in terms of the cognitive process or the development. Now, socio-emotional process, on the other hand, yeah, ma'am, it is very, very interesting. Absolutely, I understand, but it is definitely very interesting. And that's the reason I always say, I don't know, I understand that many students have school this during these times, and this is the only slot usually I get free and I take the class. But later on, they all watch it and they say, ma'am, it was amazing. And then they join the special class also, apparently. But yes, psychology and the entire study and the entire concept is kind of very gripping, you know, which I feel. And if you have an interest towards some subject, then obviously you will be very excited to learn new things and develop an attention and all of that. Okay. So socio-emotional process that influence the development, it refers to the changes in an individual interaction, okay, with other people. Now, changes in emotions and personality. A child's hugs to his or her mother, a young girl's affectionate gesture to his or her sibling, or an adolescent's sorrow at losing a match are all the reflections of socio-emotional process. Now, why? Because these are all related to your mind and the way you will behave or you will act with it. This is the thought. Okay, it is deeply involved in the human development. Why? Your social emotional process. Today, something happens to someone who's very close to you. Of course, it will affect you. You will mentally be stressed. You will have that problem thing that, okay, no, something has happened which is not pretty good. You know, I'm not happy about it. Something which is not good at all. These are basic stuff which are included in a socio emotional process, which are involved and which are important in human development in the entire life. Okay. Lifespan perspective on development. Now we spoke on the social skill, that how human development plays an important role, how mind mapping or mental thought process plays an important role. Then comes another aspect, the lifespan perspective of development, right? The study of development according to lifespan perspective includes the following assumptions. First, development is lifelong. It will never stop. We already studied about it. It will go on. Okay? It takes place across all the age groups, starting from the conception, that is from your birth, see this, till the old age, when you're growing and when you're already led the entire life. Lifespan means that from birth to the end age or the old age. Now, it includes both gains and losses. Please remember, these two terms are very important, that when you call about growth or when you call about development, okay, there will be losses and there will be gains. Now, when I say these two terms, you need to understand that we have to live both of it. Okay, we have to focus both of it. And yes, it is definitely very important that which it interacts in dynamic change in one aspect with goes and changes in others. Okay, throughout the lifespan. So this is one interesting thing. Now, various processes of human development, that is biological, cognitive, and socio-emotional, are interwoven in the development of a person throughout the lifespan. Development is multidirectional. Okay, when I say development is multidirectional, some dimensions or components of a given dimension of development may increase while the others should decrement. Now, of course, few of them will increase, it will go up, and others can just come down. All right, it can come down. Why? For example, experiences of the adults. Okay, it can make them wiser, it can make them guide, it can you kind, you can make, it apparently kahin se kuch, in Hindi, as we say, that kahin se kuch seekhne milta hai, and then we understand, okay, this is how we have to bring a change. Okay, these are all known as your experiences which we come across in life. Okay, and your experiences will teach you a lot. Your experiences will teach you a lot. Hence, the development here is very multidirectional. Development here is very multidirectional. However, with an increase in age and one's performance, it is likely to decrease on tasks requiring the speed, such as running. If you practice, it will go on, it will move on, it will spread on. But if you don't, it is going to stop. Yeah. So the various process of human development, that can be biological, it can be cognitive and socio-emotional, they are all interwoven in the development of a personal thought throughout the lifespan. Okay, it will be continuity. Okay, like I will have it when I was young, I'm now at a middle age, then I will grow as old age. All these things are components which are going to help me in development, whether it can increase, whether it can go down, etc. Now, please remember, development is highly plastic. Now, when I say development is highly plastic, okay, that is within the person, or modifiability is found in psychological development through the plasticity. Now, you will say, okay, modifiability, plasticity, ma'am, what is it? These means that the skills and abilities can be improved or developed throughout the lifespan. That means it is highly plastic. It can either change, either craft up, either go back, or be stable. It is highly plastic. Okay. Development is influenced by historical conditions. Development is influenced by historical conditions. Now, for example, the experiences of a 20-year-old who lived throughout the freedom struggle in India would be very different from the experience of the 20 years old today. Of course, there has to be a big difference between the 1970, for example, and the 2020, right? There is a huge. Can you explain once again? Yes, of course. Which one, beta? Do you want me to explain this one? Sanjana, which slide? Can you just tell me which one? Just tell me which point are you asking, then I'll understand. That plastic one. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. What do you mean by the term it is highly plastic? Can you tell me what comes to your mind when you hear the term plastic? What comes to your mind when you hear the term plastic? It modifies the person. Okay, let me explain. Development occurs across one's entire life. Okay, forget this point now, just focus on what I'm saying. Development occurs across one's entire life, or it's lifelong. Okay, development is multi-directional. It is multi-directional. Okay, now it results in gains and losses, which I discussed. It is plastic, and why I say the term plastic, okay, it means that the psychological event results in permanent biological change. However, the age of puberty is plastic. Okay, the age of puberty is plastic, and it depends on the threshold of a development switch. Okay, we will get, for example, the girls get their menstruations. Okay, but is it that they will have the menstruations throughout the life? No, they are going to stop somewhere, and then there will be a modification that they will lead to a menopause age. It is biological that the changes are happening. It is plastic. So once the changes have began, then it will go and switch to another multidimensional concept. Okay, so that is the reason it says that it varies among the individuals. But yes, it is modifiability which is found in psychological development. So this basically is coming up, and change is modified, of course. And plasticity here, it clearly defines that how that person will have a permanent or a temporary change. Okay, both of it, either a permanent or a temporary change. Now, plasticity in lifespan development, on the other hand, okay, is something that a structural change or in response to environment, okay, that demands which are not fully met, or which are not having a proper functional capacity. All right, did you understand what I'm trying to say here with the term of plasticity? Did you understand? Is it clear, better? Understood? Okay, all right, great. Now, yes. So, of course, the students, the people who lived a life in the 1970s, they will not be the same the way life we are living now. Similarly, the career orientation of school students today is very different from those students who were schools in 50 years ago. Of course, it will be different, no? Why? Because that time they did not have all these modernity. Do you think that that time they will sit in their house and they will study, virtually? Will probably, do you think that Sanjana and I would be speaking, or Sanjana, Pingu and I would be speaking right now the way we are doing? Would that have been possible with these people who were there 50 years ago? No, right? Correct. It will not be the same. It will be very different. Now why it will be different? Now why it will be different, that I'm going to tell you. See, times changing, social needs are changing, okay, economy is changing, livelihood is changing, history is becoming present. Yeah, your present changes into future. So this lifespan circle which we are talking about is development, is which is basically based on the historical conditions. What wasn't there yesterday is completely changed today. Earlier there was a traditional methodology of studying: blackboard, chalk, school, student, class. Today is on the tap of your fingers, phone. Earlier parents told that don't need a phone till class 12th. Class 12th हो जाएगा फिर phone देंगे. Now class 11th में they are buying you a phone so that at least there's a smartphone and you can go through the classes. Basic example, boss. Times are changing, right? Now, development is concerned development is the concern of number of disciplines. What's important topic? My favorite topic here, that different disciplines like psychology, okay, anthropology, sociology, neurosciences, and study of human development, each trying to provide the answers to development throughout the lifespan. Each of them are providing you the reason and the, what do you call, possibility of the skill set that development is needed throughout the lifespan. And an individual responds to the acts of context, okay, which include what is inherited: the physical environment, the social environment, historical environment, cultural context. For example, the life events in someone's life, okay, or everyone's life are not the same, such as death of a person, okay, death of a parent. Now imagine there's a school student, okay, let's just take it like this: there's a school student. Now he scores very well, okay, but he still has a father to support him economically. But similarly, there's the same student in his class who apparently has lost his father. Now for him to move ahead in life will be different. Why? Because he knows that economically he doesn't have the same support the other student will have. Similarly, it is either an accident, okay, or it can be an earthquake, okay, it can be a natural hazard which can take place or which can happen, okay. It can affect the course of one's life as to be positive or to be negative. So every individual is different, beta, and everyone has their own experiences and set of examples in life. It's not the same. It differs. It's completely different from one to another. So if this person is X here and if this person is Y here, both of them are different. They're not the same. They aren't the same. Growth, development, maturation, and evolution. Let's come to this important topic now. Okay, before I start with this, did you understand the previous slides, all of you? Can someone just tell me a yes or no so that I can move ahead? Yes, ma'am. Understood. Okay. All right. Great. Now we are going to speak about growth, development, maturation, and evaluation. Do you know what the term maturation here is? We are speaking about the term maturity. Okay. We are speaking and discussing about the term maturity here. Now, what do you mean by the term maturity? Can someone tell me? Sanjana or Pingu, anyone? Can someone tell me what do you mean by the term maturity? Okay, brain. Okay, brain is all right. Okay, not bad. So maturity refers to your thought process, the way you're aging, the way you're learning things and experiencing and become. The state period of being mature. Okay, very good, lovely. That's nice, Sanjana. Good answer. Yes, that is maturity. So before we read to maturity, because I wanted to ask you, because growth I'm sure everybody knows, but still, before I go to maturation and maturity and explain you, I will still give you an idea of what exactly is the term growth means. Now, growth and development are two things which are interconnected, but they are still different. Okay. Now, these two are not the same. Okay. Growth and development are not the same. Growth refers to an increase in the size of body parts of the organisms as a whole. It can be measured or quantified. For example, growth in height, weight, etc. But development can be your overall perspective from growing from class 1 to class 10th, what you have learned in life, what you have experienced in life, and how you're still learning. Okay, that is a part of development. So, growth here is increasing in your body weight, eyes, so sight, okay, or you can say height, weight, etc. Just the growth. Development basically is the process by which individually grows and change throughout the life cycle. Okay, this can have your human skills, this can have your nature, this can have different qualities, and all these things are coming under the part of development. Now, similarly, the term development applies to the changes that have a direction and hold a definite relationship of what precedes it. Okay, yes, of what precedes it. Not just that, not just that. In turn, it will also determine that what is going to come after. Similarly, it's a growing process, it's going one by one. Okay, but maturation, on the other hand, it refers to the changes that follow an orderly sequence that are largely dedicated by genetic blueprint, which produces commonalities in growth and development. One important point. For example, most children can sit without support at 7 years of age, 7 months of age, sorry, or stand with support by 8 months, or walk by even 1 year. Why? Because all the three babies which we are speaking here are different in terms of what? In terms of their growth, development, right? So all the babies, maybe Sanjana started walking when she was just 8 months old. Maybe I started walking when I was 7 months old. Maybe someone started when that baby was of 1 year. Why? Because it is different. Correct, Sanjana. Absolutely right. Because it is different. Every baby has a different growth and development process. Once the underlying physical structure is sufficiently developed, proficiency in these behaviors requires adequate environment and little practice. Adequate environment and little practice. However, special efforts to accelerate these behaviors do not help in infant maturation which is ready. Okay. However, special efforts to accelerate these behavior do not help if the infant is maturationally not ready. You cannot ask the baby to say a table of two if that baby is just a little one who doesn't even know what and how to spell A. That baby needs to be ready, right? If the baby only doesn't, if a baby's age only is not ready, if he's only not properly, what do you call, ready to say A, how will he say? It's not possible. Hence, these processes seem to unfold from within following an inner, genetically determined timetable that is characteristic of the species. Characteristics of the species. This is the time, and sometimes maturity comes before your age. Okay, probably a 30-year-old is not mature, but the way 15-year-old student can be, or a kid can be. It depends. It completely depends on the changes of the sequences that baby or the child or the kid or the adult has as per the growth and development, thought process, etc. Is the term maturation clear, all of you? Are there any doubts? Anyone, anybody who would like to ask anything on maturity? Only if this is clear, we move ahead for the next slide. Clear, ma'am. Clear, ma'am. Okay. All right. Lovely. Now, evolution. Evolution refers to the species specific changes. Okay. Now, natural selection is an evolutionary process that favors individuals or a species that are best adapted to survive and reproduce. That are, which are adapted to survive and reproduce. The evolutionary changes are passed from one generation to next within a species. Okay, evolution proceeds at a very slow pace. Okay, it kind of emergence of human beings from the great apes took about 14 million years. Can you see that? So this growth where we were the apes, okay, let's say the apes, we are taking an example, and reaching to the human beings, it took so many million years, right? This is known as evolution. Evolution of the modern or industrialization from the agricultural structure. Earlier in sociology or in economics, we have studied that we completely were dependent on the agriculture. We were completely dependent on farming. Now times have changed. Things have changed, and that comes to your focus when you are speaking and discussing about the journey from or the evolution from apes to human beings, the journey from rubbing two stones to get the fire and now having a lighter. That is evolution. Okay, it has been estimated that the Homo sapiens came into existence only about 50 years ago. Okay, so now these are basic facts. These are basic facts that the Homo sapiens came about in existence only about 50 years ago. All right. Now, factors which influence your development. The factors which influence your development. See, people also differ with respect to intelligence, learning abilities, memory, psychological characteristics, besides the physical characteristics. Of course, we have seen the difference. Same class, there are 50 students. Not all the 50 of them will have the same intelligence, will have the same learning capability or ability, will not have the same memory. It can differ. That is the reason the teachers say, okay, no, 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 we have to work a little more harder for the students who are weak. Okay, we need to focus more on the students who have scored really well because they are the ones who can give us the board results and our school's name can come onto focus. But there are different factors which influence the key or of development. And despite these variations, no one can be mistaken in others by other species. Okay, we all are humans, Homo sapiens. But what causes us to be different from each other at the same time, more like each other, is the interaction of heredity and environment which is nearby us, the surroundings which we live in, the society which we live in, the people with whom we live. And these are all the factors which are influencing development, which are important. Now comes the term of genetic transmission. Genetic transmission is a very complex subject. Most characteristics that we observe in human beings are combination of larger number of genes. You can imagine the combinations produced by 80,000 or more genes accounting from a variety of characteristics and behavior. It is also not possible to possess all the characteristics made available to us by the genetic structure. Like you and your parents, same genes, but the genetic transmissions which we are talking about here, they're accounting and a variety of characteristics and behaviors are there. Okay, right? Did you understand what genetic transmission here is? From one to another, okay? Sorry, ma'am, I got one call. That's why I had to leave. Now I'm here. Okay, Sanjana, no problem, beta. From one to another. Okay, now you get it. So genetic transmission basically also, okay, also the actual genetic material of a person's genetic heritage is known as genotype. Now this is important. This can definitely come in your exams. That what do you mean by a genotype? So you need to understand the actual genetic material, okay, or a person's genetic heritage is known as genotype. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the term phenotype? Phenotype is the way of an individual's genotype which is expressed in an observable or measurable characteristics. Okay. Phenotypes include physical traits such as height, weight, eye, skin, color, and many of the psychological characteristics such as intelligence, creativity, personality. Okay. All these things are the aspects in which come under the concept of phenotype. Okay. So quickly, what are the phenotypes? It is the way of an individual genotype that is expressed in the characters, like the traits, the physical traits such as height, weight, eye, skin color, uh, you know the brains or the intelligence, the concept or the creativity which that person has, the personality that person has, all these things. These observable characteristics of an individual are the result of the interaction between the person's inherited traits and the environment. You know it, it is the genetic code which predisposes a child to develop in a particular way, and that is phenotype. Okay, and that is phenotype. So, phenotype is all about the characteristics, eyes, skin color, okay, a characteristic of a person, physical approaches, physical characteristics, ability, intelligence, all of this. All of this. Is it clear? Okay, all right, great. What are the environmental influencers? Now, environmental term you have understood that it is, of course, a society. It is the what we are staying in, people around us, people around us. How does the environment affect the development? Imagine a child with the genotype. What predisposes her or him to be him or her to be introverted in an environment so that it promotes social interaction or extroversion? Okay, the influence of such an environment may make a child a little extroverted. Now, imagine that you are in a group of five friends, okay, and you are the only one who's an extrovert, okay. But staying with all these people, all the other four, you suddenly become what do you call introvert. Let's take it the opposite way now. Okay, society, correct. Now imagine that you are an introvert, but being with these friends, you become an extrovert. Why? Because the society or the environment can influence you. Okay, it can influence you to change yourselves to become something else and probably have different of opinions. It can make you a better person, it can make you a changed person, it can probably have changes in your nature. It depends from one to another. It depends from one to another. Now, the influence of such an environment may make a child a little extrovert. Why? Because he or she is being with them. That is the reason we call it the environmental influence. Okay. You also know that parents now provide the genes of a child's development. Do you know that they also play very important role in determining the type of environment their children will encounter? So now they also believe, Sandra Scar 1992 believes that the environment presents parents provide for the children depends on the some extent of their own genetic predisposition. Why? Because they know what will be the right place for your child, for their children. What is going to be a better way of raising their kids and how? For example, if the parents are intelligent and good readers, they would also provide the book children to, read, which are likely outcome for the children to become good readers, or they enjoy reading, right? It will help the kids to become good readers. So if a parent is always busy with the phone, then the child will also be busy with the phone only, no? Because he or she is looking at the parent, he or she is trying to learn and adapt that thing from them. But if the parents try to read a good book, the child will also try to do that. And a child's own genotype which he or she has inherited, such as being cooperative or attentive, is likely to result in the teachers and the parents giving more pleasant response to compared with the children who are not cooperative. Okay, now here comes the place where you basically praise and appreciate a child, and he or she is very happy while he or she is being praised, and they do try to do better. They try to perform better. For example, because of their genotype, children may perform well in music, sports, or they will seek or spend more time in environment which will help them to perform in a better way. Or a person who's into sports, and if he constantly practices and runs, he or she will be better at it. Similarly, someone who's very good at music skills, this will help that person to grow. Similarly, these interactions will in the environment will keep changing from infancy through the adolescence. Environmental influences are very complex, such as genes, which we inherit. Now, again, we are not very sure about the same genes which we will have from our parents and we will carry it on. Because genes are there from them, but your qualities, your personality will absolutely depend on the environmental changes you guys will go through. You are inheriting the changes from your parents, but you probably will not have the same quality or the same nature or the same traits which your parents have. Maybe you can have one person's qualities, one maybe you can have both of them, maybe you can have none of them. But it is a brutal reality that a child's own genotype is inherited by the parents, but can have different parts and different possibilities of responses, skill set, nature, ability, qualities, way that person looks life at, thought process, etc. Any questions or doubts still here, Sanjana and others, whosoever is joining? No doubts, ma'am. No, ma'am. Loving it. Very interesting. Okay. Chalo, I'm glad. Sanjana, are you understanding better? Is it clear for you also? Okay, great. Now, now we're going to discuss about the context of development. Okay. Now we're going to speak about the context of development. If your class monitor is selected on the basis of being academically bright or being a popular student, do you think it is because of his or her genes which will influence the environment? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Why? Because genes is not going to help him to succeed academically. Probably his father's very intelligent, or probably mother's very smart, but it is more about the influence of the environment around. Maybe he or she has done something good, maybe he or she has made good friends, maybe he or she has a good leadership skill, or he or she is a good leader who probably can showcase or outcast more qualities, right? And that is the reason that environment influence plays a very important role. Similarly, if a child from a rural area who is intelligent, not able to get a job because of his or her inability to express himself or herself fluently or handle computers, do you think it is because of the genes or the environment? Environment again. It's not the genes which plays a role here, right? It is not the genes which plays a role here. It is the context of development which is the major phase of influencing around, the influencing of environment around you. That is going to make you strong and that is going to keep you going in context of the development process. Okay? Development does not take place in a vacuum. Development does not take place in a vacuum. It is always embedded in a particular socio-cultural context. As you shall read in this chapter as we proceed ahead, the transition during one's lifetime, such as entering school, becoming an adolescent, finding a job, marrying, having children, getting a retired life, all are the joint functions of a biological change and changes in one's environment. Environment can change or alter during any time of the individual's lifespan. Now, it depends on the person to person that how that person is going through in what. In the Yuri Bronfenbrenner's conceptual view of development, which emphasizes on the role of environment factors in development of an individual, can you see the figure? It clearly shows that how your stage in lifespan growth of the infant to the elderly who's standing here, the age-old response. It shows that how development does not just take place in vacuum. It takes time, even for the cultural drift and change to happen. The microsystem is the immediate environment setting in which the individual lives. What do you mean by the microsystem? Macro is the society in economics point of view or psychologically. Macro means on a large scale. Micro is your family. Micro is the relationship that you have with each other in the family members, your siblings, your parents, your grandparents, etc. Whereas macro will be something which is to do with your school. When you step out of your house, when you're going to the groceries place, you get a what do you call, maybe buy something. That is your macro. So micro and macro are again two places of relationship, formal, informal. They have another social institutions down the scale if you bring it across. And it is these settings where the child directly interacts with the social agents. What are the social agents? The family, the peers, the teachers, the neighborhood. These are the social settings. We say no whenever the kid is going out, beta beta please hi bolo, auntie ko hello bolo beta, पैर छुओ बेटा, या बेटा ये मेरी मम्मी है, ये मेरे ये हैं. Social setting. When you meet people, when you know people, when you communicate, when you interact with them, when you interact with these people as a social agent, because you are in a social setting, you do not behave the same way you behave in your house. Your personality becomes different when you are outside because, of course, it doesn't happen and limited to a vacuum. Development is not limited to or does not take place in the vacuum. Two questions which we want to, before I finally, try to close down today's session, I want to ask you. First, how do you solve a conflict? Now, if you are really confused about the statement, let me just tell you. The conflict term here means that you can have the difference of opinion. Okay, difference of opinion. Okay, sometimes conflict also means a fight. Sometimes it also means that you agree or you do not agree, agree or not. All of it. All of it. Okay. How do you do that? You hate conflict, so you avoid by distracting yourself, like myself. Persist that they finally see my point of view. Let them win, don't sweat in small stuff with small stuff. Listen and share to have a mutually acceptable compromising solution. What would you go with? A, B, C, or D? Can someone tell me? Sanjana, Pingu, both of you. Come on. Okay. All right. Sanjana and Pingu, both of them are saying D. That is, listen and share to have a mutually acceptable compromising solution. Why do you say this? Can you give me a briefing? Come on. I want you to write. Why do you say this? Okay, I get an answer. Pingu is saying, once again, I'll read it, okay? Pingu is saying that because it is better, ma'am, communication is the key. So listening, understanding, and also social settings, behavior. Okay. And Sanjana is saying because if I listen the problem or issue, then I will definitely solve. All right. When you have a conflict, when you know you have to solve a conflict, okay, you also know that it is the best way that you listen to a person. Okay, you share that thing with the person, that okay, my opinion, I think let's just do it like this. Okay, let us behave like this, let's just have a proper solution, let's just mutually try to come to a conclusion. Correct. That is how your conflicts are solved. Okay, let's take the next one. Second one. So good answer. Both of you correct answer. D is the right way, because D is when you listen to someone, when you try to connect, when you try to talk, right way. Second. Now these are related to maturity also. Okay. We have also already studied about maturation, so I brought this concept. Now, how do you get along with your family or origin? Okay, of origin. That's your mother, father, older sibling, younger sibling. How do you and what do you do? You love all, you get along with them, or put on each other's clothes. That's kind of sharing and caring. You can't stand one or more of them, you plot and you take revenge at times. Or you also do one or more take care of me. I love being serviced, everybody wants to love me only, I should be the one who should be always on focus. Or I took care of more than one, responsibility is my middle name. What is the option which you guys will have? Okay. A or D. Okay. So you say that love all, get along well, put on each other's clothes, and you also say I took care of one or more. Responsibility is my middle name. Okay, all right. Sanjana says, Sanjana also says D. Okay, correct. So basically, these two options can be correct. Okay, because both ways you are showing that either you're really very responsible. Okay, you're taking care, you're managing certain things, you're good to go with people, you have a good bond. Or you love each other, you are very happy with all of them, you're very kind, you share things, wear each other's clothes, etc. So both the things are right. Both of them have their own different approach, which is okay, fair enough. So good. And that is the reason I wanted you to discuss what exactly is growth, development, and maturity. So very well played, guys. So thank you so much, and I think we are done for today's class. So can I have any questions from you guys? Do you want me to ask anything to you guys? You want me to answer anything to you guys? Can I have a feedback? How was the class? What was the most interesting part? Sanjana and Pingu, both of you. It was awesome, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Enjoyed very much. Pingu says, like every time I say, please make YouTube channel. Are my YouTube channel is there. It's already Urmi Chakravarti. I'm yet to start putting up the videos. I will. Whenever I have a special class, please come there. And I'm going to give you the Telegram link as well, so you guys can join in the Unacademy Telegram link, and you can get all the updates. I will once again welcome you and want you to join the plus subscriptions and take. You can use this code. You can get a 10% off. Okay. All right. So great, ma'am. Same name. Yes, same name. Urmi Chakravarti. You put. You can see my picture. You can then subscribe there, and I'm going to put the video. So whatever I make, I will share it with you across. Don't worry. Yeah. So let's just figure it up for tonight, for today, and evolution growth. That one I really love. All right. That's amazing. Thank you, Sanjana. I hope that you really enjoyed and learned something from the class. I'm hoping to see you guys very soon. And Sanjana, tomorrow we have the class 12. Let me again tell you, because of course, I'm sure that you will join. And we have the same time, that's class 12 psychology class tomorrow. Okay, that's on the 18th of September. So please make sure that you log in and you join. And yes, I'm hoping to see you on board tomorrow. Till that time, stay safe, both of you. Yes, ma'am, tomorrow. Yes, ma'am, pakka. All right, okay. All right, then. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And I'm going to see you very soon tomorrow in the next class. Bye, guys. Bye bye.